We're going to need to make sure that they do have the proper cash, moolah, dinero, to start this overtime correctly. Again, as later pointed out, they should both have 16K. Big spenders in overtime. Everybody's going to have guns. Get whatever you want. Heck, we might even see some auto snipers.
Yeah, almost definitely we'll see some. Actually, maybe not. Really, the only player that has been really pushing the scope play was Zeno.
Yeah,
Who,
we didn't see an auto sniper at all in regulation, I don't think.
No, and we have only seen ops few and far between. We've only seen how copy use an op in response to Zeno using his op. So I guess they don't. I guess CT is a pretty close range map. There are a lot of tight chokes. I think they believe in their AKs because we haven't seen them use it unless they're expecting another op. You got to assume that Zeno is going to have an op at the beginning of this overtime as money isn't a problem. Do you think they're going to right off the bat, you buy an op to try to counteract, or do you think they're going 5 rifles?
I don't know. I think we will see Zeno probably pick up an op. But the strange thing is that I think a lot of the reason we didn't see a lot of ops in regulation was because of the economy.
Right, it was very back and forth.
Right, it was very, like, even the rounds that I think how copy strung together, they had to work for very heavily where they'd lose 3-4 guys in the round and have to rebuy, so they weren't able to build up that huge economic advantage. Really the same for BOXR when they were on the CT side.
Yeah.
It was so close in each round. It wasn't just a foregone conclusion that, hey, we got the money, let's buy an op. And it looks like we've got the cash situation sorted out.
4 rifles and a scope on each team.
Yes. So kicking things off here in overtime, BOXR versus How Copy. Me first to 4 rounds. BOXR starting on the CT side, and as later pointed out, they've got the momentum and probably the cohesion given that they are coming off of the CT side victory in the second half to force overtime. And let me get the map back up. Here we go. It's looking like a setup for A, and the opening kill goes to Eon. Wallbang and Fruit Cup. Big frag to start off overtime.
Unanswered as well.
Yeah, no trade out there. And that's the man in balcony, so the number 5 man, that's Eon, is just going to have to sit back. Here comes the smoke. Arch side is going to be an execute on the porch. They've smoked off pit as well, but a nice nade from Eon does some serious damage, and the T's are forced to retreat. We see Sneaky, 8, and P2 already down to half health each. They're going to Banana. There's only one man there on defense. It's Rich. But here comes the number 4 man on the rotate. Rich is flashed, but they've kind of stopped at the Banana at porch. They haven't decided to enter the site. They're a little wary as to where they're at. Opening kill on the site goes to Rich. He's able to get a second. Great job by him getting the 2-for-1 trade on defense. It's all up to Sneaky and SU, and they don't last 2 seconds as BOXR wins the first round in overtime, continuing their momentum from regulation.
Definitely. The main advantage that How Copy had as they were falling back was that they could overrun Richter, who was in the site, and by basically getting all the way up to the site and not going in and stalling out there, they gave the CTs that extra 3 or 4 seconds that they needed to not only get to the site but get in a position, and they got shut down pretty much instantly because of it. And man, Zeno slick with that opening pick.
And he switched his name to Zeno this time, perhaps a bit more confident now that they're in the driver's seat. That's a huge opening kill for them, as again the terrorists are kind of bottled up in Banana. We've seen this from both teams. They really like to favor that initial setup in Banana. If they can get the push, they will. More often than not, they get walled off by smoke and they have to decide to go another way, as now they are back up middle into alt. Bomb is at the bench. Sue already off the field of play. And look at the over-rotate by BOXR, sending 3 men over to B. I'm not surprised, or I'm kind of surprised as to why they did that. They didn't really have any indication that the bomb was over there, as all 4 of the remaining terrorists have moved over to the A side. They have the setup there. Got the number 2 man rotating back. That's Launders. He loses his life as P2 shoots him through the wall, taking control of the R shot, and it's looking like it might be a B wrap. We only saw that once in regulation. But the rotate is coming from the CTs. Rich not able to trade out one. The bomb is down. Fruit Cup is on an island. He's all on his lonesome. It's the number 6 man. He's stuck in library. And I think it's lagging a little bit, but it's a 3-on-1 scenario. Mago already has 2 on the round, and it's looking like it's going to be 2 in a row for BOXR.
Ooh, the lag got really rough there. I guess while we... Oh, man, look at that player who's right next to him in the Moto fence.
Might be lagging out. I'm not sure what is going on.
I don't think it's you. I think it's the Go TV, because I am also staring at not moving players.
Yeah, Fruit Cup staring at a wall.
I'm also not getting any timeout message, so maybe what's happening is that it started to lag and they paused, or they paused after the round.
Yeah, not sure what is going on. You guys know as much as we do. And we are in overtime, BOXR versus How Copy. BOXR winning the first round of overtime, pretty much on the cusp of winning the second as Fruit Cup was on his lonesome. But he did have pretty much full health, had an opportunity to maybe win the round, but the bomb was down and CT spawned.
Right. With that wrap into CT spawn, I would have liked to see How Copy, throw a smoke towards pit or some flashes over to A to at least continue to sell that they were headed in that direction while the bulk of their teammates did the wrap, because, I guess it didn't matter because the 2 CTs pretty much just gunned them down immediately. But, the difference is sometimes, if a CT thinks that there might be a player in CT, they'll run with their gun out. But, if their player in pit's, saying, oh, I'm smoked, I'm getting flashed, I'm getting hit by nades, maybe they're running with their knives out. And that's, that can make the difference between, winning or, kind of getting the most out of that engagement, taking down those 2 CTs, or, folding like they did and all just getting gunned down on the speedway.
Yeah, I like the idea, but the rotate from BOXR was just too swift from B. They got the call, and they were already basically in the center of CT as the terrorists were trying to wrap to B, and they were in good position to cut them off as they came around the corner from Speedway and through the buy zone. So made short work of that, despite the fact that the terrorists were able to get the opening frag. And unfortunately, we don't know what's going on. I think it's paused. I'm not sure.
Right.
I haven't lagged out of the server, so I'm assuming it's pause time.
Yeah, I got to imagine it's paused. I wonder if... I honestly, I don't know. I wonder if a player just timed out, or who knows.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get a little bit of back-end information from our producers. But thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. Again, it's a one-off tonight. Just one open playoffs game, as they were both being played at the same time. It's a lower bracket round 9 game between BOXR and How Copy. We're in overtime. We're waiting for the server. We're waiting for the server to get back up, and we are getting some information that, yes, the server is having a little bit of technical difficulties, but we're in pause time. So we're just going to wait for that to restart, and we'll continue the overtime here on Inferno. Of course, BOXR looking to get up 2-0, maybe turn it into 3-0, and I don't know. That prediction's looking pretty good. I'm feeling pretty confident later. Easy skins, definitely. Easy life.
Yeah. Thanks, How Copy fans. A million value on BOXR, right? Isn't that what we're supposed to say?
Yeah, if we were bigger trolls than we are, that's what we'd be saying right now. But we're not. We're the nice guys, I think.
Yeah. So as soon as this pause is done, hopefully it's soon. I mean, I just want to know what's gonna happen. I'm about it. Oh, here it goes. Unpause. There we go.
Nope. Oh no!
Wow,
I was. Oh, it wasn't on Fruit Cup when it unpaused. He was able to get the turn and the headshot on one, but traded out by Eon. So the second round in overtime does go to BOXR. It's unfortunate it ended that way, but let's be honest. The odds of Fruit Cup pulling off that 1-on-3, not very good. So really, if you're How Copy, you need to pick up this round or you are in trouble.
Yeah, definitely. But, I mean, yes and no, I guess, is the answer. Because we saw just dominant CT performances out of both of the teams. I wouldn't be surprised if we can see How Copy, do the same 3-round run that BOXR is doing, or, the same, string together the same kind of rounds like they did when they were on CT side. It's not out of the realm of possibilities. I think that if BOXR can pick up this round, all of the momentum, emotional, game, money, I guess not in overtime money, but it'll all just be going their way. And I think maybe then they'll be hard to stop. But, really, both teams have had great CT sides.
Yeah, that's a good point. If the trend continues, we could be seeing a lot of overtime. As interesting enough, P2 buying a Krieg this round. Going for that scoped range weapon, but he's actually hip firing through the smoke, trying to pick off Rich at connector. Wounds him a little bit. He's down to 51 health. Not much else going on. And Eon just playing that extremely passive position in pit. Turns it into one frag. Can't get the second as Aid turns around and gets him with the op. The bomb is planted, and this is looking like a good start for How Copy. There's 3 of them left. It's going to be a 3-man retake for the CT's BOXR. Rich, Zeno, and Mago. Mago already off the board. It's up to Rich and Zeno. They're both coming from Moto. Sue eliminates both of them. And 2-1 in the first half of the first overtime. And it looked like there was a little bit of lag there at the end of that round, unfortunately.
That must have been what they were... Yeah, that's obviously what they were paused for before. So, luckily, because we already went through all of the difficulties, this should get fixed pretty fast. We've already sat through all the delay.
And they actually dropped one mid-BOXR, so I think they're calling not live. We're going to start the second half with BOXR up 2-1. That's kind of unfortunate that the end of that round was so dicey and dodgy with the server lagging like that. Obviously both teams commenting on it, so they both were dealing with it. So we're in just kind of delay time as they try to sort this out, and we'll start the second half of the first overtime.
To get back to what we saw, that round was pretty standard for both of the teams. What it really came down to was Eon, doing a good job taking down one of the entrying terrorists, but kind of airballed on the second one. And, it ultimately led to them having to give up full control of the site and that entire, half of the site. So, Eon had been holding it, really well all game. And, the terrorists happened to, get the best of him when they needed it most.
I think they realized, they've kind of finally keyed into the fact that Eon is not going to play dumb from the pit position. He's not going to push out. Even if he loses one or two of his teammates on defense at the A site, he's going to wait for that opportune moment to peak and take out 1, 2, 3 guys, which we've seen him do earlier. Now, they kind of keyed into that fact in the last round, and he was only able to get 1, which was smart on How Copy's part. Because up until that point, Eon's been kind of pretty lethal from that pit position, just playing extremely patiently.
Yeah, definitely. Spangler should be joining the server soon, hopefully.
Fastest match medic in the West.
Yes, unfortunately for us, it's even slower because we have to watch the whole delay. But they're already underway playing. I wish we were there live. Unfortunately, the GoTV just delays us.
And we do apologize for these technical difficulties. It does happen sometimes. But looks like we are going to get it underway, I think. We're ready to go?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, it's... at this point, it's on them. Or not really on them. I mean, it's on just waiting out the delay.
Yeah, it looks like we are still not live, just waiting for them to give us the go-ahead to let us know that they are live for the second half. Again, BOXR's up 2-1 in overtime, so the onus is really on How Copy to tie it up. Or if they can run the table and win 3 rounds, they can win it here in the first overtime.
Definitely. I mean, okay, let's talk about the game a little bit because, that is why we're here.
Right.
Against my prediction, I thought BOXR was going to be able to clean up all 3 of their CT side rounds, but How Copy was slick enough with their A take where they were able to, pick up that third round and, make the score 2-1. How do you see the second half of overtime going?
Honestly, I think BOXR's they only need 2 rounds. I think they can do it. I'm going to go out, and that's, given the trend that we've seen so far in this match, that's kind of going out on a limb. Mm-hmm. I mean, realistically, you think it's either going to be How Copy running the table, getting all 3 rounds in CT and winning it,
or going to
another 2-1 and a double overtime, right? But
you're saying that BOXR has it? It's a bold claim, but it could very well happen. It's on them to put it together, kind of mix up their play. Work a pick, for God's sake. I want to see someone work a pick.
And this has been, I mean, it's a little bit of adversity for both these teams. So hopefully we can see both of them kind of keep their cool in this delay time. You know, you get a little frustrated. You've been playing for so long, you know, going on almost an hour and a half now.
Right.
You know, kind of getting a little fatigued given that this was just supposed to be a best of one. So maybe some of these players getting on tilt a little bit and going to be playing a little sloppily. We'll have to see.
Right. While we still have some air to fill, while we wait for the very, very long delay to finally end, there was a small announcement about the partnership between CEVO and Allpug that went live on Reddit after we started our cast. So check that out. All the information is on reddit.com/r/globaloffensive.
I believe Tasky Man actually posted it in the Twitch
Yeah.
chat, so you can follow it to Reddit there and check out the thread.
Oh,
Allpug and
he's ahead of me.
CEVO join forces. Huge announcement. Really happy
we brought
to be
them over
working
to the
with
dark
those
side.
guys. Yeah. Yes. To the dark side. A really exciting turn of events, and you know, we hope you guys are as excited as we are for the prospects of Season 5 and what this really means. So, you know, stay tuned to CEVO.com, at CEVO on Twitter for a lot more information on, you know, kind of some interesting turn of events for what we've got in store for Season 5. Can't really say much more than that.
No. Okay, now I'm starting to get antsy. I want this game to be underway.
Yeah, I really want to see this conclusion, you know, either in this overtime or 3 more down the road. Who knows?
Right. I mean, the matchmatic works pretty quickly. It must. Or, I mean, I guess we don't even see Spangler in the server yet. It just, I guess, took a long time for him to get in. You know, Batman has multiple crimes to solve in one night.
Yeah, Spangler is needed in many locations, so hopefully he will be back and sort things out, and we'll get the second half of overtime underway here. BOXR versus How Copy. Both teams 4-11 on Terra's side, so not very great performances on T side, but stellar on counter Terrace, doing what they had to do to get into overtime. And BOXR was able to win the first half of overtime 2-1. A little bit of discrepancy there with some lagging going on, but
Hey, there he is.
there's Spang. He's here to save the day.
We will be underway within the next 35 seconds, probably. Then that's awesome.
Thanks for being patient with us, folks. We do apologize for the delay. Launders with the spam. Star Spangled Banner. I like the nicknames. So, folks in Twitch chat, what do you guys think? BOXR is up 2-1. They only need 2 more rounds to sew this match up. Who's going to advance? Will we see BOXR sew it up here in the second half of overtime, or will it be How Copy? Or will we see a second overtime? What do you guys think? We got some time to think while Spangler sorts this thing out. So let us know your thoughts. Sound off in chat if you are so inclined.
I'm leaning towards either How Copy winning 3 straight or it going to a double overtime, but you seem to be convinced otherwise. It'll be interesting to see who is right. I somehow just took 2 guesses right there, which I guess is unfair in the grand scheme of things. But,
we've basically narrowed down all the options, considering I think BOXR's going to win it
it's
out.
going to be one of those, believe it or not.
There's only 3 options.
Launders. Total troll.
Oh, wow.
Right, he knows how stressful and hard to keep up with it can be on the caster side of things. So as a player, you'd think he would be a little more lenient when Spangler comes in, but no, troll at heart. I love it.
That's CS:GO for you.
People seem to be pro BOXR in chat. They think BOXR can pick up the 2 rounds. Let's see if that's true.
Thinking they're going to sew it up in the first overtime. We will see if that's the case momentarily. Match Medic Spangler on the case.
We're close. We're so close.
There. Just waiting for the score to be updated. They've got the monies.
Right. No, yeah, we need the players to be to switch teams.
little discombobulated, missing 2 from the server.
Oh,
Actually, looks
yeah.
like 8 is in spec mode right now.
Mm.
Join the server, bro. We got to get this game underway.
Right. Before, when they started the game, when they were accidentally started overtime with $800 and they just changed the start money, I guess they might have kind of messed up the match medic a little bit. They didn't run the overtime config, I guess. I don't know. I'm never in charge of running the servers.
Because we don't know any better.
Yeah.
That's why we cast. And looks like they're just going to roll without the scoreboard being updated. So again, it is 2-1 in favor of BOXR. They will move over to the terrorist side now. So again, as we said in overtime, it's the first to 4 rounds. So BOXR needs 2, and How Copy would need to win out to win it. Or we could see a 2-1 and a double overtime. So we'll see what happens here in the second half of overtime. BOXR versus How Copy. Lower bracket.
And we're going to be
round
going
9.
live now. Finally, got the team set. Match restarting any second now. And the play clock isn't moving. Oh, it's paused. There you go. Unpaused. Here we go. Game's underway for real. 16K both sides. Score is currently 2-1 in favor of BOXR. I want to see if they've recognized some of the problems that I pointed out with their T side, if they can make the necessary adjustments, or if it'll be up to How Copy to just kind of keep the consistent CT play going.
And interesting, we're seeing Zeno go with the op look, but no ops on the CT side this time. No ops for How Copy.
It's not uncommon, based on what we've seen thus far in the game, or not out of the ordinary is really what I should have said. Clearly. Zeno, as he's continuing to change his name, has been favoring that op, and really we've only seen an op challenge him, 1 or 2 rounds.
And another banana look from BOXR. Although they do have the number 3, or excuse me, I think that's the number, was that the 8-man? He's over there in alt mid. The rest of them, all 4 of them, are in banana. Here comes a quick execute. They're actually going to run through the smoke. They smoked off Construction, and they've smoked off CT. Eon getting that opening kill on Aid into the B site. There's 1. That's Sue. In Construction, Eon gets the second. That's 2 in a row for him. Can he turn it into 3? P2's going to come charging through Construction. Takes down Eon. That's a 2-for-1 for him, but the bomb has been planted, and it's 4-on-3. 3-man retake for the counter-terrorists. BOXR trying to get 1 round closer to winning this match. They need 2 more to sew it up here in overtime. The CT's How Copy trying to prevent them from doing so. Looks like Zeno is able to take out Sneaky, and the last man up is Fruit Cup. He's only got 14 HP, and he's up against 4 terrorists, and BOXR winning the first round in the second half of overtime on terrorists. 1 round closer to winning this match.
Right, the score is now 3-1 overall in favor of BOXR, and that round they had the mix-up that they needed, and that mix-up was a Molotov grenade used perfectly, throwing it right at the new box, or the tri-box player, who basically couldn't do anything about it. He had to run away from the fire while his teammate was smoked out, so he didn't have any support. The players came in, right in the site, killed him as he was kind of bouncing around, and from that point on, the site was theirs. So far, so good for BOXR. Clearly, they have had some time to think about what their B take needed, and they found the right solution on the first try.
And it looks like they're going to stick with what's working for them, going for
I think they're going to run the same strat.
Yeah.
The number 5 man, who is Fruit Cup, actually moved away from the new box, so the fire won't catch him this round.
And here comes the entry. They get the opening kill again on Eon. Nice. Puts down Fruit Cup. He's going to rotate through Construction once again, but this time Sue is actually in Connector. Rich is set up in banana. The bomb has been planted. It's 5 still alive for the terrorists. Rich turns around and catches Sue at the bench. It's all up to the number 2 and the number 3 man, Aid and Sneaky, and it's looking like BOXR is going to take this one. It's all on Aid. Can he get to be an ace? Excuse me, if he wins this round. Not looking good for him. This is probably going to be all she wrote. Eats the nade. He's down to 11 HP. Peeks out, and it looks like Zeno makes short work of him with the op. BOXR winning it in overtime. That's going to be it. Unfortunately, How Copy fought valiantly, particularly on the first half.